years since I stood on the steps of the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois. It's the building where Abraham Lincoln served for many years before he went on to Washington. In the city where I served for many years before I became a member of the United States Senate. And on those steps, I announced this unlikely journey to change America. Now, I have to say that some folks at the time, they said, why are you running so soon? You're a relatively young man. Why are you running this time? You can afford to wait. That's what they said. You can afford to wait. And I had to explain to people, I'm not running because of some long-held ambition. I know people have been looking through my kindergarten papers, but that's not why I decided to run. Because I think it's somehow owed to me. I am running because of what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now. The fierce urgency of now. Because I believe there's such a thing as being too late. And that hour is almost upon us. You see it in your own lives. You see it in your own communities. We are at a defining moment in our history. Our nation is at war. Our planet is in peril. And the dream that so many generations fought for feels like it's slowly slipping away. Everywhere I go, people tell me they're working harder and harder just to get by. They've never paid more for college education, never paid more for gas at the pump, never paid more on their electricity bills. It's harder to save. It's harder to retire. Our healthcare system leaves 47 million people without health insurance. Half of our bankruptcies caused just because somebody in a family gets sick. Despite the slogans, millions of children are falling further and further behind because our schools are inadequately funded and inadequately inspired. In such circumstances, we cannot afford to wait. We can't wait to fix our schools. We can't wait to fix a broken healthcare system. We can't wait to put young men back to work instead of sending them to jail. We cannot wait to end global warming. We cannot wait to bring this war in Iraq to a close. We cannot wait. We cannot wait. And so when I decided to run, I was betting that the American people were hungry for something different, hungry for something new, that the size of our challenges had outstripped the capacity of a broken politics to solve, and that people wanted to see a politics that wasn't about tearing each other down, but was about lifting the country up. A politics that wasn't about spin and PR, but was about straight talk and truth-telling. And most of all, I was betting on you, the American people. Because some of you know I don't live in Chicago, but I didn't originally come from Chicago. I moved to Chicago after college to work as a community organizer with churches who were trying to deal with the devastation of steel plants that had closed. And we helped to set up job training programs for the unemployed and try to bring economic development to communities that had fallen on hard times. And it was the best education that I ever had because it taught me that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when they're given a chance. And so I've always believed that change does not happen from the top down. It happens from the bottom up. It happens because the American people are a decent and generous people, willing to work hard and sacrifice for future generations. And I believe that if we could just come together across the boundaries of race and religion and region and party, if all of us, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Native American, young, old, rich, poor, if all of us could come together to challenge the special interests in Washington, but also to challenge ourselves to be better neighbors, to be better parents, to be better citizens, then there was no problem we could not solve and no destiny that we could not fulfill. And I am here to report to you, Dallas, Texas, that after a year of traveling across the country, after logging more miles than I care to remember, after speaking to tens of thousands of people, to shaking hands with many more, after hundreds of chicken dinners, I am here to report that my bet has paid off and my faith in the American people has been vindicated, because everywhere I go, the American people say they are ready for something new. They want to turn the page. They want to write a new chapter in American history. Everywhere we go, we have been seeing unbelievable turnouts, record turnouts, young people coming out in record numbers. People who had become cynical about politics are saying, I want to get back involved. I want to make something happen. Now, I would like to take all the credit for this, but I have to admit that it doesn't just have to do with me. Part of the reason everybody is so excited, part of the reason everybody's paying such careful attention to politics this election season is they know in November you will be selecting the next president of the United States of America, and whatever else happens, the name George W. Bush won't be on the ballot.